Well, it's Friday. I don't know. We were gonna talk about the bird drama, or I could just insert the video of the sped up thing. Should I do that?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do that. He's just sitting there like, my God.
He's grumbling.
Oh, goodness.
He's getting mad.
No, they didn't give up. It was like they were left saying, oh, damn, did they give up? I missed it. Fuck, it was the only action. I mean, it's the only thing he's done.
I know.
I mean,
No, he's complained.
has he?
Yeah. Yeah, don't you hear that?
Yeah, I hear that. What kind of birds are those dives bombing you?
Bluejays.
Oh, you said they're the pricks of the bird world, right?
Yes. I mean, they have every reason to be angry.
Why? Because they turned out blue?
That, yeah, and hawk might, steal their eggs.
What the hell is he doing?
Standing his ground.
Or her ground?
Its ground. Did you see that it had the duck?
No. Wait, is that what that thing is up there? That's a duck?
No, it had to duck.
Oh, God, I thought you were telling me it ate a duck, and I'm like, where to find a duck around here? Dude, is he even opening? Is he like even beginning?
He keeps having to duck.
What the hell? That's a low energy hawk, or he's just making a point to tell them just how little he cares.
I think he's making a point.
I mean, I'd say that would explain the pooping, but they do that automatically.
I bet they're regrouping.
Oh, they're getting ready for the next wave? Hey, that one chickened out. She saw more hawk on Blue Jay action today. Actually, the other
Blue
way.
Jay on hawk.
Did you say they were getting braver?
Yeah, they were literally going bunk.
Yeah, they were whacking his head down, weren't they? Mm-hmm. I tell you, man, there's a dispute going on, and it's a beautiful spring. It's a beautiful, beautiful spring, and it just keeps going. This is actually, seriously, the year I graduated high school was a lot like this. Those high school years, it was like this. It's been a long time, actually. I kind of forgot. Well, enjoy it.
For now.
Indeed. So, why don't we do wrist check? Mm-hmm. Okay. Here, you get over here.
I get over here.
Yep.
Okay. So, because I didn't want to wear the same stuff I've always been wearing, I went into his watch box and I was looking for something that had a strap, not a bracelet. And oh no, there we go.
Isn't it It looks great on her. It was such a good surprise to see that on your wrist.
Oh, I'm glad.
And if you decide that strap doesn't work for you, we've got a bunch of others that I can try. I am so happy to see that on your wrist. It's always easier to see the coolness of something when someone else is taking it around the block for a spin. And I'm wearing my watch that I pretty much have. Well, I didn't wear it for like a month, but I've been just wearing and wearing and wearing this one. I mean, I have been doing a lot of other Seikos, but this one kind of sneaks back into the rotation every now and then. This is, for those who are curious, this is a Leisure 7500. It has a Valjoux 7750 movement in it, and the watch was wholly made by Heuer. It was just rebranded for Leisure. This is essentially a Heuer Pasadena with a different bracelet and a slightly different dial printing. This is the matte blasted one. The ones you see that are much more common are the ones with the black PVD. I just think it's such an excellent, excellent design. It's so pretty. Anyway. Oh, one last thought. I also wear this one a lot because like 8 years ago, I almost sold it. And I didn't. And then I was wearing it after I'd serviced it for myself during a very important event in my life. So I'm always so grateful that I didn't sell this watch every time I look at it. Oh, I'm so grateful I never sold this watch. I don't think I'd be able to replace it. I love it. Okay. As I was just saying to her, that thing looks great on her. It's every bit as much hers as it is mine. She should wear it if she wants to wear it. I think it looks awesome on her. Show it up again. Just no picture.
There it is.
I think that's good.
Okay.
That's all right. So let's do this thing.
We are. I have to go back to my notes. Sorry. Okay. The Sua versus Daini caseback spotters.
Oh yeah, so this is for those who missed that. Sua casebacks versus Daini made casebacks, how the early ones, like late 60s, how they differed in construction. Manufacturing method.
From Nielsen Gupta, how about a cat food cookbook? I have 4 cats. I have 2. I used to have 3.
It's true. Well, the thing is, if you're going to make cat food, you've got to have it somehow in self-segregating layers of completely different types. Or you know what you really need? You need a lab meat generator that's about this big that can basically extrude cat food using different flavor additives. I bet you it can be done. I bet you it could be done.
With hot dog flavor?
You know, I offered her chicken. Nice chicken. I made it all up for her and everything. Chicken breast. Nice stuff. She turned her nose up. I think it's because she could still smell some of the rosemary on it. It's better if it's just steamed. She's really not into spices or condiments. Salt, though. Salt. Sometimes I have to salt her food.
Oh my god. Okay. From True Blue Miata. Hi, Sabrina. Oh wait, I didn't even freaking do his question.
Oops.
Can you please?
What? No, just read it.
No, please.
Oh, sorry.
Question for next mail call. Does that mean, in your opinion, Daini is better than Sua? If similar models from Daini and Sua are compared, is Daini better?
This is always an interesting question. It gets asked. Sometimes. I don't know. It's really, really interesting. I can break and talk about a different, set. Daini tends to be, you know what? Let's have a segment. I'll just put one in.
Sorry. True Blue Miata. Hi, Sabrina and Spencer. The 17 versus 21 Jewel 6139 story raises some questions. Why? Just for prestige? Or better performance? Or longevity?
Tariffs.
If I followed you correctly, the critical lower barrel arbor port is still not jeweled. If the 21 jewel version is truly better, I wonder why Seiko didn't go with it universally. Would the price difference actually have been that great? What do you think? There's more to
No,
it.
no, I know that. I'm thinking. I don't know. I mean, skipping the lower mainspring arbor port thing, I just can't fathom. I can never fathom why they did that. I mean, they're having to. Okay, fine. They're going to have die-affix settings, right? Okay, well, if you're going to have a die-affix instead of just a regular jewel with a hole, or as in the 6106s, you just have a bushing with a hole. So you're going up 3 levels of wonderfulness there, and yet at no point do they say, oh, maybe we should jewel the barrel. I think they're spending more for this other useless crap than jeweling the barrel, which would have massively extended the natural life of the watch. So I don't know why. They make decisions that are just mysterious to me. You know, maybe they've got a less than rational forest spirit that's giving them business advice. I don't understand what they're doing. But then again, they haven't asked me, to their sorrow.
You need to make your eyeglass appointment once we're done with this.
No, but I swear to God, my old ones, they work better than these.
But they don't turn into...
Yeah, that's the only thing that sucks. What?
I don't know. This phone number looks familiar.
So I got these. These were my
Hello?
last. These were
I'm
my
fine. How are you?
last new glasses, most recent. My previous ones are still great. They work perfectly.
Oh, yeah, no, he's
but
totally fine.
I had to go find
was
them.
happy to be home.
Look at my lenses. Look at this. It's just a flat out materials failure. I've never seen anything like it. It's crazy. I have no idea why it's happening. So anyway, yeah, so this is terrible. I went and found my old glasses from like
Oh, good.
4 or 5 years ago. They were great. Also, whatever coating these things has,
Yep,
it's the
thank you, bye.
smudgiest, most ridiculous stuff I've ever seen. It's like they're impossible to keep clean. What?
It was like they just watched the phone conversation and then talking about your glasses. I
Well-
don't know. I guess it's a first.
Plus, you know what? I swear those other glasses frames, they're much nicer than these Ray-Bans.
That's not surprising.
Because, like, I look at these Ray-Bans, these modern ones, versus your OG Ray-Bans, and, like, what they're made of. Like, your OG Ray-Bans are made of, like, some kind of... It looks like Bakelite to me. Mm-hmm. They're really hefty and well-made. I mean, these are kind of like...
Yeah, but your old glasses are too...
I suppose so, but boy, it was super comfortable. But, yeah, they don't have the darkness stuff on them. I just can't trust that place to not give me whatever this was.
I don't know. Anyway, back to the thing. Given Seiko's instructable...
Wait, this is... What name is... This is still from the gentleman,
the
right?
True Blue Miata.
True Blue Miata.
Given,
Go for it.
Given Seiko's inscrutable ways, we may never know about the JDM 6139. Where did you get that display case back?
Hang on. So one question we didn't answer. The jewels, they dropped the jewels because literally it was a tax thing, because the United States taxed by jewels, and so they dropped it to the minimum that they could. Go on now, please.
About the JDM 6139, where did you get that display case back?
Oh, I feel bad. Well, no, that's not true. Most of the time it's from the SNK 809s. There are 7S. But there were actually a good amount of display cases in the late, display backs in the late 7009s. Some of them had some of them had a smaller sealing surface, some of them had a larger sealing surface, some had a little more depth. So it's important that you find one that works for you, but yeah, you can find cases with those display backs easy. And if you get the older ones, even the ones that are new with a serial number engraved on the case back, it's going to have that black printed text on the underside, right? So all you really do with that, this is what I do, is I sterilize that case back. You can just pop that glass out with your crystal press, and then you can use a brand new X-Acto blade, really sharp, and you go in and you can just shave that stuff right
Oh
off.
God, it probably sounds awful.
No, it doesn't make any sound at all.
Really?
No, because I mean a brand new X-Acto knife, that's like scalpel sharp. And it's not, you get those sounds when you're up like this and the blade can vibrate. The whole thing is actually, it's on its strongest axis, which is forward like that, so it can take it. Going like this, it's the weak one, and so it can flex. I'm working on her Telecaster, a parts Telecaster, and I'm upgrading it for her. But I'm using this Japanese technique instead of sandpaper. What the Japanese do, I didn't know this. It's a kind of thing. They use a series of basically planes, big ones, but down to very, very small ones. And the blades are almost exactly perpendicular. So, but what that does is if you do it well, basically the wood doesn't even have to be finished or varnished. It's a Japanese woodworking technique. But man, it kept squeaking and honking.
It was awful.
And I'd be like, honk, damn it.
And I'd jump in one time I had to just leave.
I try to stop, but then when she leaves at night, then I work on it, and we're getting close. It's looking pretty good. Mm-hmm. Right on.
Okay. On another note...
Oh, True Blue Miata. Where do I get a set of Miata seats? Good condition for cheap.
Anyway, on another note, some of my old Seikos are very difficult to get two fingers on when rotating the crown due to the case design. I'm tempted to roll the bottom of the crown with one finger, but common sense tells me that will put undue force on the stem. Am I correct about that?
You're not really honking on it. And plus, I mean, the crown is going to be, it's sort of T-shaped sideways, right? So you've got this barrel section inside, and then the sort of the wheel of the out part of the crown. And so you have a fair chunk of that stuff inside the case tube, and there's not a lot of clearance in there. I mean, it's got some, but not a lot, because the gasket for that thing, this, rubber donut gasket that's in there, has to, be able to compress as to give it as wide a footprint as possible, contact patch. So you're not really going to be hurting anything to it. But I'm in the same situation as you. But what I do in my case is I will usually root around, and I will simply literally find a crown that has more out, and then I can grab it. She organized all the crowns.
No, I'd never finished.
Oh, you never finished?
No, I did the, did I do crystals?
You did you did diver crystals, chronograph crystals. These are all old used parts. Oh, right, you organized the straps. I'm sorry, I think I've destroyed your strap organization.
Knew you were going
well, the
to.
problem is that the boxes you used were like really flimsy cardboard. I've got to get something better. What? It's a big ass white truck. Ooh, it's a Mr. Truck, but in white. I think it's a later one though. Yeah, it is.
It has
that double gate.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mr. Truck was a lot nicer than that.
And then the transmission died.
Yeah, but they fixed it. They fixed it for free, which is great. But yeah, apparently 2016's GMC Sierras are 2016 is kind of a bad year for all of those Mopar things. And it was true with ours, but it was still under warranty when we got it, and it got fixed.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next. Biff Tannen BTTF. Funny that Ed Harris wore a 6139 blue dial in Apollo 13. They chose a vintage Seiko, but got the model wrong, obviously.
I wonder how the props master worked for that thing. I always wonder how that works. Okay, you're going to be shooting a scene. We need a vintage watch. We read somewhere that he wore a Seiko. Maybe they got the right one, and they're like, we can't see it. Because his was like the gray version. So it was really understated and pulled back. It's the same gray as, like a 62 MS. Can you stick your wrist up there? It's like that kind of gray. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't find one. Maybe the prop master didn't have one. Maybe they liked the look of the blue 6139 better because you could see it. Maybe Ed Harris said, Gene Kranz is cool and all, but I need a little more style. I have no idea. But curious, that means there's prop people out there who must have vast watch collections. Just for loaning. I wonder what kind of movie money you could make out of that.
I don't know.
I should have kept my Aliens watches just in case they remake Aliens.
From Christopher Jefferson 3561, the guy Ed Harris played is the same guy who oversaw the Challenger disaster and issued the order to lock the doors and preserve data. He's the one that stated, "We have a major malfunction."
Yeah, Gene Kranz was with them for a long time. He was the guy who knew how to wear a flat top haircut. Oh, no, look, honey, as the youth say these days, he owned it.
Wow. Mr. BT Cruiser. Isn't Jasper just colorful flint? I know this seems to be mainly Seiko-focused channel, but I just purchased a new Hamilton khaki field watch that your channel is always fun to watch. Thanks for taking the time to make these videos.
I don't know. Yeah, it's mainly watch channel, but we love rocks. We love rocks.
Well, no, he was saying that we don't talk about Hamiltons.
No, it's true. I mostly don't focus on modern Swiss. I owned a lot of modern Swiss, but I tend to talk about what I own. And I have owned a Hamilton field watch, a Hamilton khaki. Oh my goodness, I've owned a few Hamiltons. I really have, but I don't keep them because I'm not a hoarder. I don't want giant piles of watches around here. So if I'm not wearing something, and it's not one of the really good personally significant watches for us as a family or myself personally, I don't keep it. It gets sold. So if I don't have one, I can't really talk about it because I want to use my hands to talk about the watch. I don't know. I think Hamilton is perfectly fine. I think it's a fine company. They've been quite decent as, producing new stuff. I mean, they're chronographs. What do they call it? The Intramatic or whatever? But you said I could buy one, and they were like $1,800, and I just couldn't do it. But
I completely forgot.
That's cool. But I see them used all the time. And I look at them, they're cool from the front, but they're too thick. But yeah, Hamilton, they've been good in their style department. I wish they were still the real American company. Not just because, buy American, but there are no, as far as I understand it, no extant original American watch firms left. Hamilton would have been a great one. It would have been, in fact, in my mind, that would have been the perfect American watch company to have succeeded.
Oh wait, is Timex American?
Not anymore. All that stuff has been bought up by the Swiss. Back in the day,
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's under Swatch Group or something.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Timex was another great original one. Ooh, do you want some Timex trivia that everybody knows?
Sure.
Okay, so Timex watches, especially back, after the war, World War II, they were, for those of you who don't know, they were very inexpensive watches that were not designed to be serviced, but they were advertised as basically will run forever and ever and ever. And they were very simply constructed, all stamped metal, very basic, didn't have any jewels. They were, more or less, they were watches. I mean, they did well. But their design, the reason that those watches existed, the original design was for counters for bombs in World War II. So you're dropping a bomb, it has a little propeller on the front that is spinning the movement that is counting down.
Wow.
And so they were like, cool. And that's what they did. Funnily enough, it's not very different from a German company that during World War II made the same kind of things. And after the war, they made watch movements for decades. The movement on their movements, it will be PUW, which is Pforzheim Uhren Werke.
Okay.
Werke. I don't speak German. She speaks German.
No, I'm doing it on Duolingo, but I'm almost at a year.
You are, really?
Yep. What?
I'm just thinking about that one lady's voice.
Let me see if I can find one.
It's like honey and German chocolate put together.
You're ridiculous.
She's got the best voice. It's really, really awesome stuff. It's just I just love it.
Well, I don't know how I would find it.
I don't either. Yeah, I'm sure we could look it up online.
Okay.
Well, do we have any more questions?
Oh, yeah. um...
This one, I wonder if this one's an artifact or the real deal. This was literally just a piece of gravel in the backyard.
From Chef 1176. Hi, Spencer and Sabrina. Glad to see you guys again. How many colorways did the crayons watches come in originally?
There was the silver crayons, there was the blue crayons, and there was the
Green.
the gray one.
Green.
And there's a green one.
I found a green one.
But I never even heard of them. So she found it. Can you say anything about it?
I don't know. It was green. It was on watch charts. I was just looking up values.
Yeah, it was green, and it had like, I wish I remember what it looked like. Did it have green stripe hands or something? I don't remember. I literally, before she found it, I'd never heard of it.
Well,
I had no idea.
If we actually remember, I can take a screenshot of it, and then you can insert it.
I have a 7005 that has that same green. It's from the same period. And Diney, I really believe that Diney did a lot of the dial production for a lot of this stuff. The only time I wonder is if it doesn't have that green Diney loom. But that's kind of a mystery.
Okay. Sorry, I keep turning my phone off.
Don't touch the grill, it's hot.
Replacing the crystal on a Seiko 754-970-10 tuna. Pilgrim in progress. As far as keeping corrosion at bay, I know you're car guy as well. Have you heard of fluid film? It creates a barrier with metal parts to keep oxygen away from the surface, thus keeping oxidation at bay. I thought a little on a swab and wiped over the surface might help some.
Maybe. It wouldn't do much on the stainless case. Stainless, I mean, it will tarnish a little bit. It's funny, you know, I use a cleaning product. I use a ton of cleaning products. But there's one particular cleaning product I use at the end of my cycle of cleaning that specifically attacks oxidation. And I'll take a case that I have assiduously cleaned by hand and multiple rounds of ultrasonic. Hey, this thing looks pretty good, looks pretty shiny. And I drop it into this stuff and it comes out looking like tiny little workman polished every single section of it at an atomic level. And so it'll do something. There's some haze of, interactive corrosion there. And it pulls that off and wow, it's like, that's the thing that really makes a watch pop. I am aware of this stuff because my buddy Eric, whom I've known since kindergarten and who still lives in town, he had his grandfather's old cart was given to him, and so he had that whole thing redone, and he did the thing where the guy comes with the water with the abrasive stuff in it and blasts everything all clean, and then part of the additive of that is something that coats the metal so it won't rust. And so I think it's something like what you're describing, I think.
Super Cruise. I wonder if a small dab of Loctite glue on the shroud screw thread would ensure they do not accidentally back out over time.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Loctite, there's a whole bunch. Loctite is this crap. There's all kinds of different Loctites. You're putting in a screw, like screw into metal, and you don't want it to move, or something inside the engine, it's supposed to stay there. There's like Loctite Red or these other colors that when you put it, it basically acts like an epoxy. And so the different colors, it's like a stronger and stronger and stronger epoxy. You can go the lightest and it'll hold it, but you can still take it off. You can go the heaviest and you crank that thing down and you're going to have to pull a stud.
Okay. The 6139-8029 rally video. Joseph Stewart 4440. I do love this model. I have the exact same model that I found in a box of junk watches my sister had at her antique shop many years ago.
Wow.
The biggest mistake I ever made in my watch collecting career was giving it to a watchmaker to service who butchered it. He replaced the original hands with nasty aftermarket ones, which do not match the markers. I do plan to have this one serviced properly one day, and I'm on the lookout for original hands.
The original hands are not that hard to find. Sicko used them a lot, especially in the early 70s. A lot of their chronographs used them, like 6139s, even the 6138s used them now and then. They used them a lot. There were a lot of them. They're not that hard to find. So that's what I keep an eye open for. Because you can get them in a junk watch lot. I think they even make a sort of a modern version of it, but the originals would be better. Good luck with that, though.
That's it.
That's all?
That's all.
Well, do you want to insert your video of bird drama?
I thought you were doing that in the beginning.
That's my video of bird
Oh,
drama.
no, I was going to do a giant, like, have you show where it's
Oh,
on.
the whole thing?
Yeah, but I mean, like, fast.
Oh, no, I get it. No, that's a good idea. We could do, because I've been thinking about, because that first one, when I sped that up, you could really see the behavior of the birds and the hawk. You really see how that, and the fact that the hawk barely moves at all. It's funny. It's like all this stuff. It looks like he's got flies around him, sort of, or gnats, and he just stands there.
Okay, but the thing is that we haven't put that part together, so either the people have seen it or they haven't seen it.
That's true of many things. I don't know. That's about, Kraken.
What?
She's at the door.
I thought she was up there.
Oh, maybe she is. You're right. In any case, that's it for the weekend. I'm looking forward to it. It's just beautiful here. I was driving around yesterday. I had to do some errands, or day before yesterday, and it's like Colorado just isn't this green anymore. It's summertime. It used to be.
Well, it's not summer yet. You just wait for July.
Well,
For some dummy to, not properly put out their freaking fire, their campfire.
I hope, though, with all this growth, next year, I think actually we're going to have a pretty tamped down fire season, because unless it goes into like flat out drought and everything dies. But this could mean next year, if it's dry, that the fire danger will be much higher, because you're going to have all this giant growth that doesn't come back, and you're going to have the material is going to be the material load is going to be much larger.
Damn.
But of course, I don't know anything about any of this stuff.
No, you're not a climatologist.
I'm not an environment doctor.
No, you're not.
I don't know anything. I can talk a good game and I can make good guesses, but at the end of the day, I know barely anything different than anybody else.
It's true.
I just talk with confidence.
Yes.
Okay. Folks, you have a good weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.